A lot of bad shooting to go along with bad offensive process, bad transition defense, bad habits, bad attitude, all that. The Celtics get humbled by the Clippers. Game analysis on the Indian Celtic show. Let's talk Celtic basketball. Hello and welcome along to another episode of the Indian Celtic show. My name is Mohit Sharma and I am the host of the only podcast you need for the coverage of your Boston Celtics. You can find this podcast on Spotify and right here on YouTube. Make sure to give the channel a subscribe, give this video a like, and hop into the comments section. And let's talk Celtic basketball. Alright, the Boston Celtics got embarrassed at home by the Los Angeles Clippers. They lose this one by 19 points, but it was never this close. At one point, they were even down 36. So before I go off on the Celtics, let me give my props to the Los Angeles Clippers. Los Angeles Clippers are a legit championship threat now. In my eyes, they are right there behind the Denver Nuggets as second on my contender list from the West. Then they've been playing like it. Ever since the James Harden trade, it took them a couple of games to figure it out, but since they've figured it out, like James Harden has been all they wanted him to be. Kawhi Leonard has been playing like an all-star. Paul George, like he said, he's on his bully this year, and the Clippers are clicking and they are legit. I remember we beat them by almost 40 at their place earlier in the season. It was a bad schedule loss for the Clippers. They didn't have Kawhi Leonard, but I'm sure they had that loss in the back of their minds and they came in the TD Garden for revenge. And they sure did get it. So, that's that for the Clippers. The Boston Celtics. Really, it wasn't all that bad to begin with. We started off good. We started off looking good, playing good team basketball, generating good looks, but we were just missing all of them. Yeah, and today it was ridiculous. Our shooting was, I don't know, it was like space jammed. We were space jammed. All of our shooting abilities were taken away. Yeah, but I like the beginning. We were passing the ball good. We were crashing the glass good. I liked our energy. But the shots didn't fall. And the Clippers were struggling in the beginning too, but Clippers eventually found their offensive flow. And we still couldn't hit shots. And then began the downward spiral. The Boston Celtics went into their do-it-myself kit. That's one of the things I don't like about the Celtics. When things don't go good, we have so many talented players that everyone starts thinking, okay man, I have to figure this out and I have to make things right. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White, Drew Holiday, all of them are all-star caliber players. Porzingis didn't play this game, and that was a huge part I will talk about later. But yeah, they started do-it-myself kit. They started taking tough shots. I didn't like it. And Kawhi Leonard, on the other hand, started clicking, and he gave Clippers a good lead after the first quarter. And in the second quarter, it was more bad offensive process. Joe Mazzulla always says, our defense starts with our offensive process. If we move the ball, if we take good shots, that will eventually lead us to go and set up our defense. Our offense is what makes our defense good. But our process in the second quarter was horrendous. Like, we were only taking tough shots. Kudos to the Clippers. They came in like dogs and they were pressuring the hell out of the Boston Celtics perimeter players. They made it tough, but I didn't like the shots that we were taking. Our bad offensive process, tough shots like fadeaways, like pull-ups over two defenders. What that led to was bad shots, bad misses, transition offense for the Los Angeles Clippers, which are one of the best transition teams in the NBA with the personnel that they have. I mean, look at that. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Terrence Mann, Russell Westbrook, they run. They don't care, they run, and they ran on us. We couldn't defend nobody. Our transition defense was horrendous. So that's like a double sword attack. You take bad shots with bad offensive process, and you don't defend in transition. It's not going to work out like that. So it was bad, but it was still not that bad because we were, I think, around 10 points. And I was just hoping that we could close the quarter off good, and we generated good threes. But like I said, our abilities were taken away. Our shooting abilities were taken away. It was crazy. Couldn't make any threes. I think we went down 16. But after the half, I wrote down in my notes, team basketball is not working. I swear I wrote it down. Jason Tatum has to take over. Jason Tatum has to start taking over because he was the only one that was playing good ball. Even when I say in the beginning it wasn't all that bad, Jason Tatum, man, he was going up against Kawhi, and today was the first time in Jason Tatum's career that I saw that he can go up against Kawhi Leonard, because earlier he was too skinny. Now he's built strong and he can take the ball to the rack, and he was looking good. And so I wrote it down in my notes. Tatum has to take over. And what do you know? Quarter 3 starts, Tatum takes it to the rack, bucket. Takes it to the rack again, bucket. Pulls up, 3, bucket. 7 straight points for Jason Tatum. But to no avail. Because on the other end, we cannot stop Terrence Mann taking offensive rebounds and putting the ball in and generating 3 points. I mean, I was so pissed. Today's energy just wasn't there. It was, like I say, our abilities. Again, I go straight to the Space Jam thing. I read it on Twitter, like, it was so funny, but it was crazy, like, and after that, even Jason Tatum's 7-point run, and it didn't mean a thing because we couldn't stop the Clippers, and it was just a matter of time before another thing that happened that I didn't like. It was like they quit. The middle of the third quarter, we started going down. Our shots weren't falling. Not alone now. Let the transition defense go. We weren't even defending in the half court properly. We quit, and it was almost like the Milwaukee Bucks game again. We all remember what happened when the Celtics went to the Bucks. Everyone said it was a one-off, so we let it go, and nobody really cared. But now it's 2 games like this. Well, what's the formula now? What's the formula for the Boston Celtics? You go and pressure the hell out of them. You make them take tough shots. You run on them and score, and they will quit. Come on now. This cannot happen. Joe Mazzulla said after the Bucks game that we have to sit down and really think that, is it a trend or is it a one-off? Well, that game was a one-off. Now we have a second game like this. I don't think these are championship habits. You can't be quitting games in the third quarter. I don't care if it's January, February. I remember the 08 Celtics coming back from down 24 in Game 4 in Los Angeles. Can this team do that? I don't think this team still has developed the habits to come back. So yeah, that was that. In the fourth quarter was the only good things were in the fourth quarter. Our bench made the score look more respectable. Like, we were down 36. Our bench outplayed the Clippers bench and put the score closer, and it was finally a 19-point game. And respect to the Celtics fans, still out there in their seats in the fourth quarter, rooting for the bench. That was a good sight to see. But those were the only 2 good things. I can be mad, but this can also mean typical January basketball. Last game, we go in Miami, have a historic shooting night. We blow the brakes off of the Miami Heat, and tonight we have this horrendous shooting night. It's ridiculous, man. It's January basketball. The players are tired. It has been more than half of the season. They are waiting for the All-Star break and whatnot. But I'd like to take this opportunity and just, this is why the Celtics still have not won a championship. Kristaps Porzingis did not play today. Teams usually what they do is they pressure the perimeter players of the Boston Celtics and force them into the bad habits of taking tough shots. It's exactly what happened today, and this is exactly why Brad Stevens went and got Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, if Kristaps Porzingis, a 7-foot 3-inch monster, is right there, and you play switching defense against the Boston Celtics, it might not work as well as it did in previous years. And he has literally made it easy for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to, there's the 7-foot 3 guy right there, can pass him the ball. He's always a mismatch for anybody. So yeah, when Kristaps doesn't play and our shots don't fall, man, it can get bad, and it got ugly today. So let's just hope Porzingis is healthy. Let's just hope Porzingis is healthy for the playoff run, man. If we don't have Porzingis in the playoff run, we're not going to win a championship. I'm going to be honest. And it's not anything against the Celtics. If any good team has a major piece missing for the playoffs, they're not going to win. And the Nuggets will not win if they don't have Aaron Gordon. It's just like that. The league is so close. Health and luck is what everyone needs. And I hope the Celtics are healthy and lucky come playoff time. I hope Porzingis gets healthy fast. We'll have, I think, the Pelicans and the Pacers to close out this month, an opportunity to bounce back. We'll see how it goes, and I'll be covering all games possible, especially right here on the weekends. Right here on the Indian Celtics show. Let's talk Celtics basketball. Let's go Celtics.